WGN Sports.
It's an overcast Sunday afternoon from Guaranteed Rate Field as the Sox and Tigers play the deciding game of their three-game series here in Chicago. We thank you for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. The Sox essentially are on their second bullpen of the year, but the new guys in new roles have been very effective recently.
Normally, when you trade away most of your bullpen and some other guys out there get hurt, you wonder if you're ever going to get people out. Well, that's been put to rest this week as the bullpen has been absolutely unbelievable on this homestand. Juan Minaya, who had no saves coming into this homestand, now has 3 with a couple of wins, and he's been throwing exceptionally well. He's thrust into the role, but he's excelling. And Jake Petrichka, now fully back from his injury, is finding a very lively fastball. Once again, the ball is sinking, and that's good. And when you take a look at the new bullpen with Farquhar, Minaya, Infante, Petrichka, and Bummer, they've given up 1 run in the last 14 innings, and so you'd say they're coming around at the right time because this has been a good homestand, and the Sox, who have lost 7 straight season series to Detroit, trying to beat them in this season series.
The ship really has sailed for both teams in terms of the playoffs, but the Sox and Tigers both are going to have a lot to say about the postseason in the American League.
23 games left for both teams against contenders, and if you're playing the role of the spoiler, you might as well do it well. Both of these teams have had the opportunity to do it and will continue with those opportunities. It's the Rockies, Indians, Twins, and the Royals for the Tigers. Twins, Rays, Indians, Royals, and Angels for our Sox. Turns out to 23 each, and hopefully these teams coming home can show that maybe a lot of momentum coming into next year.
And on the mound today for the Sox, Lucas Giolito, his second career start for this team after 6 appearances with the Nationals last year.
Last time out, he couldn't get the curveball over the plate. The fastball was pretty good. He did give up 3 home runs, but he threw the ball well enough to give you some hope that maybe going forward, this is going to be a mainstay in the rotation. He's got to get the curveball over the plate. The changeup was pretty good last time, and the fastball lively enough, certainly. But if he can get all of his pitches over, he's going to be in good shape. And his mound opponent is Matthew Boyd, who has really struggled against our Sox. 0-3 lifetime, his ERA up close to 6. There you look at the rest of the numbers for Giolito against Minnesota. We talked about last time out. So hopefully these 2 young pitchers going head-to-head will provide a good finale for this homestand.
Sox will be on the road to Minneapolis after this game comes to an end. Sox and Tigers, game number 3 of this series, and we'll tell you about Players Weekend coming up after this. of this series, and it is day 3 of Players Weekend now here at Guaranteed Rate Field and across Major League Baseball. Sox and every player in Major League Baseball with patches on the jerseys to celebrate somebody, and then on the back of the jersey is a special name, and Adam Engel, Sox center fielder, explains his.
I went with the name Clark because it's actually my daughter's name. I got a daughter now. She's about a little over 2 months old. I thought it'd be cool for my daughter one day to, see herself with, her name on the back of my jersey. And I think it'd just be like something cool for her to, look back on and, just get to see. She's my first child, so, this whole experience has been pretty incredible. And I think, having an opportunity like this, just to put her name on something like that, definitely makes it special for me, getting to look at that before I put it on and just knowing that I'm in that jersey. I think it's going to be cool for me and my family.
Adam Engel with his explanation of the Clark on the back of his jersey, and we'll tell you throughout the day about some of the other names on the jerseys for the Sox. Sox and Tigers coming up from Guaranteed Rate Field. Game 3 of this series is on the way on a Coca-Cola Family Sunday. Brought to you by Xfinity, changing the way you watch sports on TV. Tigers and White Sox, the deciding game of 3, and time to show you the Tiger lineup scribbled out by Brad Ausmus, their manager, the former catcher. Kinsler at the top again, Romine up to 2. Upton, Cabrera, Castellanos back in with some wrist trouble, but he's playing DH today. Matuk, Hicks, Jacoby Jones up from AAA with Victor Martinez on the DL, and Jose Iglesias batting 9th.
Let's take a look at the defense and how they'll line up behind Lucas Giolito. It's Liuri, Adam, and Avisail in the outfield. And Davidson, Anderson, Sanchez, and Abreu in the infield, with Kevin Smith getting the nod behind the plate. And Lucas Giolito for his second start as a member of the White Sox rotation. That's what he did the first time out. Didn't walk anybody. He fanned 4, gave up 3 home runs, but could not get the breaking ball over, hoping to do a little more of that today. And the umpires for the game this afternoon, Lance Barrett has the plate. Crew chief Jim Reynolds at first, Brian Knight at second, and Nick Marley is at third. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, the spunky Jason Benetti.
Steve, thank you very much. Look forward to game number 3, and then we shuffle off to Minneapolis tomorrow on the off day, as the Sox will take on the Twins for 3 at Target Field. Giolito to Ian Kinsler, first pitch at 1:10 today, and it's strike 1 from Giolito to Kinsler, who's got just 1 hit in this series. It was an RBI single that came in yesterday's 4th inning. Tigers 6-3 winners yesterday. Sox walk-off winners against the Tigers a couple of days ago.
You get ahead 0-1, it's a good place for a fastball. That's inside but off the plate. So even if a guy does make contact, best case for him, he's going to yank it foul.
0-2 from Giolito. And we saw him spike some breaking stuff in appearance number 1 in a Sox jersey.
It's going to be essential for him to get the feel for that curveball. He might not get the good feel for it in the first inning, but you have to continue to throw it so it comes to you before too long into the game.
Kinsler is swinging a miss for strike 3 and 1 away here in the first inning. Talked about the breaking balls that Giolito threw in the first game. 14 pitches, curve or slider, according to brooksbaseball.net. 10 were balls, 1 was a called strike, 3 put into play, and a single and 2 groundouts. So 10 out of 14 were out of the zone.
Yeah, against a really good hitting team, that's not going to get it done, and Lucas knows that. In fact, he talked about it after the ball game last time.
But the alternative side of that is that he basically had 2 pitches and still went 6 innings in his White Sox debut.
No, I thought it was impressive. It's just that if you're going to be a 2-pitch pitcher and both of them are not overwhelming, you're probably not going to have success. He is not a 2-pitch pitcher, but he's got to get the other over the plate.
There's a high strike. Romine down 0-2. There's a breaking ball, just tapped foul. That was a better curveball.
That was a good one. And, you know, when you're ahead 0-2, you can throw that wipeout breaking ball in the dirt. That's not a problem. It's just if you use it to get ahead and you're throwing it in the same spot, that is a problem. With 2 strikes, that's actually a good spot for it, because if a guy hasn't seen it, he's going to go out and get it, then it just disappears.
Off speed away, 1-2 on Romine, who's 3 for 6 in the series. Tigers at 56-72. That's 16 back of first place Cleveland. Sox are 5 behind the Tigers opening play today.
Looks like he broke his bat on that swing, so he will go back, get another one. As you look at Miguel Cabrera, who has a home run in this series. He only has 13 others this year besides the one he hit opposite field last night.
Back-to-back Oppo home runs. Upton and Cabrera with 2 out in the 3rd inning yesterday. Just tipped foul again. Romine has stayed alive on a couple pretty good breaking balls.
Last one was a dandy, moved down and in. He was able to just get the top of the baseball. Now Kevin wants a high fastball.
On 1-2, Romine lays off. Good at bat from Andrew Romine, forcing Giolito deep into the count.
Going to be at least an 8-pitch at bat. And there is the hottest of the Tigers.
Another breaking ball and another brush foul by Romine. Maybe not the day for sunglasses, but it's a good look.
Always a good day for Wonder Woman.
2-2. Fastball fouled away. Six foul balls from Romine.
The 10th pitch of the at bat.
2-2. Romine hits it in the air right side, and Giolito gets the better of Romine on pitch number 10. 2017 Chicago White Sox, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Your mortgage, your way. Go to rate.com for a low, low rate. Trying to get comfy in row number 1.
Good day for it. A little overcast, but 70 degrees and a bit breezy at the ballpark today.
Looks like the wind's blowing in right now.
Not quite the effect it had last night.
a gusty night at the ballpark last night.
And the flags are a factor, not even close to what they were last evening, however. Two different sets of wind. One in left center, one in right center.
Partisan flags.
Yeah, the one in left center, not so much. One in right center, just getting loosened up.
The flag bullpen. 2 strikes on Upton, who's been one of the best hitters in the American League since the All-Star break. And he guides that ball foul. Top OPS in the league after the break for Upton. He's had an overall great season. The numbers have increased even the last month.
Tigers might not be the beneficiaries of this late season extravaganza for Upton because he has an opt-out in his contract.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Giolito's breaking stuff certainly biting today, and he's got a 1-2-3 first under his belt. And Tim Anderson honoring his friend who passed away a couple of months ago. Then Saladino and Abreu, Avi Garcia, Matt Davidson, Kevin Smith with a couple extra letters today. Leury Garcia, Yolmer Sanchez, Adam Engel, your starting 9 today.
Let's take a look at the defense and how they're going to line up behind Matthew Boyd. It's Upton, Jones, and Matuk in the outfield with Romine, Iglesias, Kinsler, and Cabrera in the infield. John Hicks has the plate. And Matthew Boyd to the hill. He's 5-7 this year. His ERA way up there at 6.25. There you look at the rest of the numbers. He's never beaten our Sox. His ERA above 5.5 against them lifetime. He's a 4-pitch pitcher.
First one, fastball strike to Tim Anderson to start the Sox offense today.
That fastball is going to be anywhere from 92 to 95, but he's got to get his curveball over the plate, and it has not progressed this year.
Boyd, who was in the David Price deal a couple of seasons ago at the deadline with the Blue Jays. Daniel Norris also a part of that deal.
These are the two guys that the Tigers thought had a chance to be a high 2 or 3 and a very good 4 or 5 in the case of Boyd. Both Norris and Boyd have taken about a half step backwards this year, and the Tigers are counting on them in the future. They have got to step up.
He gets strike 3 on Anderson. 1 away in the first, and don't forget you can vote online, whitesox.com/picks, and choose yours today. Fans go with Tim Anderson, who's made the only out so far. Look, I'm 2 behind you now. You can't let this happen.
Well, you take Yolmer every day.
Well, it's a smart play, Mr. Melky. For months, you were sitting on Melky Cabrera.
I have completely forgotten about that. I believe that's in the past. Melky is no longer here. It's time for you to turn the page like Bob Seger. And and have one of those caps for your trip.
On a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha. 0-1 to Saladino. Now 2 strikes. Sox are free swinging early on against Boyd. You mentioned Norris and Boyd being the pair in that trade. He is on injury rehab against Toledo. 3 rehab starts, 8 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, and 8 1/3. It's a left groin strain that has Norris down there in AAA. Sox have been very strong against left-handed pitching this year, and part of that is the 3-4 hitters. Abreu and Avi Garcia at nearly 390 for Abreu and 426 for Avi against lefties this year.
For Boyd, who had a pretty good changeup coming into this year, he just hasn't had a good feel for it. So the stuff is good enough. I mean, 4 pitches, all 4 are probably above major league average. The question is, can he find them all working at the same time? You don't have to have all 4 on a given day, but you certainly have to have 3 of them working well. And there's the career numbers of Boyd. So far, not working as well as he would like.
Cue shot, second base. Kinsler approaches and throws quickly to get Saladino for out number 2.
There's that straight change we were talking about, and if he has lost the feeling for it coming in, that last one was a good one. So he's got a decent feeling for it here this afternoon.
Well, he had high confidence in that pitch last year. He's talked about that, and this year he's just not had the same result with it.
No, and there's no rhyme, no reason to why it suddenly disappears, because it's a question of feel and a question of release point. Sometimes you get the feel, but you don't have the release point. Sometimes the release point's okay, you just can't get a good feeling.
So what do you do?
Just have to keep throwing it, because if it was good at one point and you've stayed uninjured, it will be good again. It's just a question of continuing to use it, but use it in spots that are not going to hurt you. If you're not throwing a good one, then let's say you get to be, I don't know, 1 and 2 on a guy, there's 2 outs, nobody on base. Throw a change. You might not have wanted to in that sequence, but throw one to see if you can get the feel for it. Continue to throw it in non-essential situations, and eventually it'll come back to you.
So here's the type of spot you're talking about. Maybe not the batter for it, but the situation.
Sure, you're 1 and 2, nobody's on base, 2 outs in the first inning. Throw one, try to hit the outside corner. Make sure if you miss, you miss away. Don't miss over the plate.
High fastball that time. 2-2 on Jose, who's 9 for 15 against Boyd. Two balls, 2 strikes from Boyd. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 went up high again, and bookend strikeouts for Boyd, the 26-year-old left-hander.
WGNTV.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media because Nationwide is on your side.
No base runners so far. Lucas Giolito and Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Sox and Tigers. Game number 3 of this series before the Sox head to Minneapolis for 3 Tuesday through Thursday. And we showed you in the open that the Sox and Tigers are going to have a lot to do with who ends up winning that second wild card spot in the American League. And again, just scanning the scoreboard today, the wild card contenders are struggling other than the Twins, who are up 3-1, but the Mariners are trailing. Kansas City is getting absolutely vaporized by the Indians today.
Yeah, but that's one way to look at it. But you can look at the fact they've got 6 innings left and they're only trailing 12-0 heading into the top of the 4th. So it's not like it's a blowout. Oh, that's not the football. That's not the Browns.
No,
Chiefs.
it's not Browns and Chiefs.
Oh, that's the Indians. I see now.
Yeah, here are the wild card standings. Kansas City only get a game and a half back, but you honestly should lose a couple of games if you're down 12-0 in the second inning. Minnesota is team number 2 right now. The Angels, again, the Mariners are trailing 7-1 to the Yankees after 3. But the Sox will see the Angels and Royals that last homestand. Tampa Bay is going to be in here next weekend, part of that 10-game homestand.
We're going to get 3 of Minnesota's best in this series coming up with the Twins in Minneapolis. Santana, Orioles, and Bartolo Colon. Colon is 4-2 with a 4.04 ERA. I'd say he's like a fine wine, but right now he's like an aged wine who miraculously keeps getting better, which is quite a task.
On the ground past the mound at second base, Sanchez had time and knew it, out number 1. Join us at Guaranteed Rate Field, Sox and Rays, Saturday, September 2nd. First 20,000 fans get a Mark Burley bobblehead presented by Toyota. Visit whitesox.com to purchase your tickets today or call 866 Sox game. Bartolo at age 44, still doing it.
Well, still doing it, and almost without exception, he's doing it with a fastball. The most amazing part of Bartolo Colon's career is that he's had probably better control than everybody in the major leagues because he's a one-pitch pitcher at 44 years old. You wouldn't expect that one pitch would be a fastball. You would expect it to be a knuckleball at 44.
I mean, when you say it like that, it is truly remarkable. One-pitch pitcher at age 44.
At one point, he was throwing 98% fastballs, and he was in his 40s at the time. So, yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And Lucas Giolito, I love the way he's come out and established both the curveball and the changeup early in the ball game. He's gotten them both over the plate.
On the ground to shortstop, Tim Anderson on the grass. Long peg on target, 2 down. Let's take a look at our minor league report, our White Sox farm report, and guess what? It's another home run from Eloy Jimenez.
The great thing about Jimenez is they're going to talk about the distance of his home runs. What you're going to start to hear is he is a really accomplished hitter. Not only hitting the ball 8 miles, which he can do, but he's going to hit around 300. I mean, he's just got a great stroke, understands how to hit, and is gifted with an enormous amount of strength.
I've had 3 or 4 people now who've seen him tell me that his acumen for hitting, his hitting intelligence is so far beyond his age that he very well may force the Sox hand in getting up here quickly, and then once he gets here, he's going to have an understanding of major league pitching.
And what the Cubs did in that deal for Quintana was they traded from strength. They have a lot of outfielders on that team, but the one guy they really didn't want to give away was Jimenez because of the upside he has, which is absolutely unlimited.
This one hit well to right center field, and our first base runner in this game today, Mikey Matuk, turns on the Jets. He's on his way to third, and Matuk is in there with a 2-out triple.
We talked about it a bit in last night's game. Matuk, who hit under 200 last year, got together with Lloyd McClendon, decided he was going to be more of a straight-up hitter. This is a hanging breaking ball up in his face, and he's able to drive the ball to right center field. Then he's off to the races. When the ball kicks away from Avi, Mikey decides to continue on his path for a 3-base hit.
And so Matuk, who had a really difficult night in the field last night, triples here, and now Hicks a foul ball to start his first at bat of the series.
There's a look at Lloyd, longtime major leaguer, former major league manager, very smart man from Gary, Indiana, just one of the good guys in the game, understands every aspect of the game because he played a lot of different positions, including a catcher.
Could sell an ejection pretty well too. Anderson to first, and that retires the side. Giolito not harmed by the 2-out triple. We'll play bottom 2 scoreless.
Who goes on the DL with a strained right hamstring this year. A tough year for him. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. When he has a batting average of 228, the Indians certainly count on him. He's one of their better players, but this has not been a good year. Injury Report is brought to you by Dr. Anthony Romeo, proud member of Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Go to RomeoOrthopedics.com or call 312-432-2342.
Pitchers duel so far, hitting and a half deep. It's up to Avi, Matt Davidson, and Kevin Smith to take care of that. It's the left-hander Matt Boyd.
Avi has just tattooed the left-handers. Sox are hoping that continues. It's nice to have him back in the lineup. He's putting together just a solid season from start to finish. A year that saw him for the first time become an all-star.
Avi is the best batting average hitter against left-handed pitching in Major League Baseball.
If he continues this and maybe rises a few points, he could actually get, he's third right now all time, he could get up a little higher than that. And Lance Barrett does not have to make the appeal. He actually called a swinging strike.
You saw Avi's shoes for this Players Weekend. Players allowed to show a little bit more spirit sartorially this weekend in the shoes in honor of his home country of Venezuela, which has gone through so much politically and civilly the last year.
Well, here's hoping that they're able to come to some sort of resolution that allows the country economically to get back on its feet, because historically we have seen some wonderful players come out of Venezuela, and certainly their problems transcend baseball. But if they can get everything back to where it once was and start giving their youngsters an opportunity to get to professional and then Major League Baseball, that'd be wonderful for all concerned.
That's the sad part as you think about it with a baseball lens, is that there are young Avi Garcias growing up there that won't have the same opportunities as Avi or Miguel Cabrera because of what's going on in the country.
Yeah, there's been, you know, a number of great Venezuelan players. And you're right. I mean, this is an opportunity for them to make sure their entire family lives a very comfortable life. You look at Omar Vizquel, one of the great shortstops in the history of our game. And there's another one, another Hall of Famer, Luis Aparicio.
It's outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Omar, born in the capital city of Caracas, and Avi is one of a number of players just sending money back home, and you hear about that so much around baseball. As he draws a walk, Boyd felt like he had him on the breaking ball on pitch number 5, didn't get the call, and Avi will take the walk.
What's good about that is Avi's had a hard time swinging through a lot of high fastballs. If he ever can lay off the high fastball, there's no telling what the numbers are going to be for a year, because that's the one real soft spot in his offensive arsenal. The rest of his game keeps getting better and better, but if he lays off the high pitch, he's going to put up some whopping numbers.
Matt Davidson now. And while the Sox have hit lefties very well, and Matt has 2, most of his home runs, for whatever reason, have come against right-handed pitchers this year. 18 out of the 22.
There's a lot of guys that would prefer facing righties because they see many more of them as they grow up.
Speaking of growing up, Matt Davidson, Little Leaguer out in Yucaipa, California. Little League World Series going on and Players Weekend, and we figured we'd show you where they came from before they were White Sox.
A little Matt grew into a very large fellow.
Yes, he did, and he has great adoration for his hometown of Yucaipa. Went home during that Dodgers series, got to see his family. Says he's going to move back there with his family during the off season. They have the kiddos, Brixton and Wake, around the extended family. It's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Davidson, the 3rd strikeout victim at the hand of Boyd today.
He didn't hit his spot, but he's got a very lively fastball and threw it by him outside. Sox would be well served to unload on the first pitch if they can, because opponents hitting .500 against Boyd this year when he starts a game on the first pitch of an at-bat. That's a lot.
Haha. Those are well, that's not
that first pitch.
No.
Didn't expect a biting curveball down and in, but that's what Boyd threw, and it was very effective.
You stay at 500, they have to build a new structure in Cooperstown for you. Avi at first, a 10-foot lead. And this one in the air to right field. Mikey Matuk drifting with it, and he makes the catch. Matuk over from center last night into the corner outfield.
I think he probably petitioned to move over to right.
I don't know that it had to be a very long petition after what Brad Ausmus saw yesterday.
Now, a very tough defensive center field, but offensively, it's been one of his best seasons.
And not reputedly that rough around the edges defensively either. Pretty good defensive player. It was just an outlier last night.
Yeah, they're not, for the most part, in a major league game, they're not going to start you in center field if you can't field. I mean, that's just gotta, it's the way it goes.
Garcia swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left field. Upton for out number 3. Garcia stranded, still no score after 2 today.
97999 right now, and the 300th texter is going to win a $30 gift card to a Subway restaurant in the Chicagoland area. Subway, so much sandwich.
So much sandwich.
So much. But not as loaded as that baked potato you had.
Jacoby Jones with a foul ball for strike one. I'm telling you, the food in this ballpark is wild. This is like helmet-sized baked potato.
It's a substantial baked potato.
I've given up eating other meals. This one goes to right field, a base hit for Jones in his return from AAA. This has broccoli and bacon and salsa and cheese and sour cream and butter. There's something for everybody in this. Even you, finicky Fred.
This is very good, and you know who would really like this?
Who's that, Steve?
Our substantial unicorn today. Yes, I know. Unicorn keeps getting bigger. That's because after a loss you have to, well,
upsize it.
You have to pretty much pull out all the stops.
So last night we had the little purple unicorn on the prize shelf, and it was trying to channel some energy to get the Sox a victory after the rally unicorn the other day. But with the loss, we decided that it was time to
break out the big guns, as it were.
So the unicorn's bigger today.
Yes.
This ball hit well to right field. Garcia is there to make the catch on Iglesias. Jones retreats to first, and one gone.
Nice play by Avi, who's really improved drastically in right field. That's been one of the things that has improved in his game that we haven't spent a lot of time with because of the offense this year. But Avi gets a good break on this ball and does a nice job. Iglesias not known for big power, especially the opposite field, so he's able to run it down and make sure that Jones, who's got pretty decent speed, stays at first base.
Leaving the double play still in order. Ian Kinsler up. Kinsler came into this series with 8 straight games under his belt without a ground out.
That was put to rest in this one. He had a couple last night. No, actually one ground out last night.
2 the night before.
And 2 the night before.
No. He's coming back to the average.
He was one of the more powerful second basemen around for a lot of years. This year the power numbers down, as are all the numbers.
Jones is off, and it's fouled away by Kinsler. 1-1.
This Tiger team is not the fastest team you'll see, but they're going to try to run on Lucas. If he's going to combat a running game, he's going to have to use a slide step on occasion, because he does have a high leg kick, and because he's a big man, he's not quick delivering the ball.
1-1 to Kinsler, who couldn't check it up. Strike 2, and the breaking stuff significantly improved today.
That was a good curveball, because Kinsler's a good hitter, and he was completely baffled by that. Take a look at Kinsler's approach to this as he pulls out, tries to check his swing, can't do it, but comes nowhere close to the baseball.
Smith wants it down, and Giolito throws to first. It's not a surprise that the curveball would be good. That's the pitch that really shot Giolito up the prospect rankings. And again, it speaks to how well he pitched with 2 pitches his first time around that he didn't have it. 1-2. Fouled back.
Well, when I evaluate a curveball especially, I'm not looking for location. I'm looking for rotation of the ball. And the quicker he can spin it, the better the break is going to be, and the sharper the break's going to be. The sharper the break, the less time it spends in a plane where a hitter can gradually watch it settle and then whack it. And the less time it spends on the same plane, the more difficult it is to hit.
Jones runs, pitches high, throw down to second. Got him! Kevin Smith takes down Jones.
Good time to throw a high, tight fastball because he pushed Kinsler out of the way. And Kevin, with a good chance, makes a solid throw and a nice tag on the other end. So we'll watch it again. The throw beats him by plenty. But on the first base side of second, Yolmer comes across and puts on the tag. Nice play, nice throw by Kevin Smith.
2-2. And a foul ball from Kinsler. Pitch number 7 will show up. Grab some chips, grab some water, grab a ball, and enjoy the game. Two. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Giolito, who's already had Tommy John surgery very early in his professional career.
Actually, he had it before the professional career started. And give you an idea of how talented he was and how projectable were those talents. The Nationals knew that he was going to have surgery, and yet they still took him in the first round. And as you can see, he's gotten everything over the plate. 34 strikes, 9 balls, a complete reversal from last time.
Just inside, first walk for Giolito, bringing up Romine here in the 3rd.
StatCast powered by AWS, and we'll take a look at the arm strength of Kevin Smith, who gets off a really good throw. It's at almost 80 miles an hour getting it down to second base. The league average is 66.35. So Kevin had a good pitch to throw. It knocked Kinsler out of the way, and then he made a good solid throw to second.
We're talking about split seconds there, tenths of seconds that are important. Giolito shoves Romine off the plate, ball and a strike.
I would think Kinsler would think about going. He is one of their, if not their best base stealer. He swiped 13, but caught only 4 times. Upton is 10 out of 15. He's the closest.
Giolito of a like mind with you.
Yeah, that, to me, if I got a choice, if he gets thrown out, I'd rather lead off with Romine than lead off with Upton. So I don't think you have anything to lose if he goes.
He doesn't run there. It's now 1-2 on Romine. A lot of 2-strike foul balls today for the Tigers. And look at that, sharing the ball. One and two. Breaking ball just outside. Kinsler at first, 2 down. He doesn't run, and the pitch grounded back to Giolito, to Anderson, who's right at the bag for round number 3. Inning over, still scoreless.
powered by Xfinity, the future of awesome, and it is boom, boom, Yolmer Sanchez with 3 home runs on the homestand. They kept trying to get that fastball inside on him. He kept on hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So Yolmer with 8 home runs, 42 driven in, and a big homestand. 8 for 25, 8 driven in on the homestand. He scored 3 with a slugging percentage of .680.
Yolmstand, not homestand.
And Yolmstand, yes, very good.
The Yolmstand, a series of Yolmer homers. You're right. There was a trend there, and how they were trying to pitch him.
Kept on trying to get the ball inside.
Yolmer to left field. First hit today for the Sox.
By the way, that does not count for you because you've picked them 3 days in a row, and we have to invoke that little-known 3 days in a row rule where the first at bat is not countable.
So, do the rules change in the second or third at bat?
Yes, depending on if he gets a hit or not. That was a changeup he took through the left side, and a promising way to start the 3rd inning.
Engel at the plate. Sanchez draws a throw.
He came very close to a balk, and if your first base coach, as Darryl Boston is, it's not a bad time to just mention to Jim Reynolds to watch his front foot. Make sure he strides to first base because he came really close to balking. Take a look at the front foot. Now that's a little bit more striding to first, so that's not a problem, but the last one was borderline.
Two balls, no strikes on Engel. See how much attention Boyd gives to Sanchez, and if Engel can make him pay for it. Close too.
Yeah, he's been close. And the one thing you don't want to do is get a big lead at first base because Boyd has a very good move. So good, in fact, that he's only given up 1 stolen base to second this year.
And again, a lot of base runners this year, so there have been opportunities to steal against him, and he hasn't given it up.
That's the biggest difference between the lefty and the righty. The righty, it's a speed move if you're going to pick anybody off. The lefty, it's a move of deception.
2-1. So on our pregame, Adam Engel with the word Clark on the back of his jersey for his daughter named Clark. Adam's wife liked the idea of having a boy's name for a girl, so they decided on Clark. High in the air, first base side. Kinsler for out number 1. So here's Tim Anderson. Tim, since the All-Star break against left-handed pitchers, it's starting to sound like on Tuesdays when it's over 70 degrees, but since the break against left-handed pitchers, he swung 64% of the time, as he did there, and he stuns it down the left field line. Sanchez to third. He gets waved around. Upton throws it in. Sanchez is there. Anderson an RBI double. It's 1-0 Sox.
That's a 45th run driven in by Tim. It's a straight change. He gets out in front of it, and normally in a straight change you like the guys at the corner to know it's coming. Had Romine known it was coming, he might have taken another step toward first as he takes it down the line. And Yomer, with the play in front of him, right now is where he picks up Nick Capra. He did a nice job of not getting locked into that ball and slowing himself down. When he was halfway between second and third, he picked up Nick Capra, who was giving him the go-ahead sign the whole way. He scored rather easily. Nice job by Tim, and good base running by Yomer.
And we've seen it this year when there's a left-hander on the mound. Rick Renteria is very inclined to have Tim Anderson at the top of the lineup card for the reason of his tremendous skill against left-handed pitchers this year and last.
But with more left-handed starters coming into the league on a yearly basis, that's going to serve Tim well.
Tyler, a bouncing ball to second in the first. On a 7-pitch at bat, but Tim Anderson with his third double of the series against the Tigers. Saladino off the mound, pinging into center. Anderson's coming home, and Tim scores easily. It's 2-0.
Ninth run driven in by Tyler as he takes it right back up the middle. And the big break came when it hit the mound, because that slowed it down enough where Tim's going to score without a play. If this line drive goes over the mound, it gets to Jones a little more quickly, and he might have had at least a shot. But this way, not even a consideration.
And now the left-handed wrecking crew, meaning they wreck left-handed pitchers, but Abreu got under that one. Upton and left for round number 2. Swing early seems to be the theme today for the Sox against Boyd, as you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting here looking at the same things that we're looking at, knowing that the league is hitting .500 against Boyd on the first pitch. There's really no reason to wait for a second one if you get it in the zone.
So here's Garcia with Saladino at first and 2 down. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Avi, the best hitter against lefties in Major League Baseball right now, and trying to track down the best batting average since 1980. That was Brett Boone.
How about Ron Coomer hitting .415 in 1997? You get a real good feel that there weren't a whole lot of infield hits in that .415.
Oh, come on now.
Sorry, Ron.
I think he'd agree with you.
Yeah, he could hit. Running, well, he could hit.
Two strikes on Garcia. Saladino at first.
Tyler better be careful, because he's taken a substantial lead at first base, and Boyd might be thinking about going over there and trying to avoid pitch number 47 to a guy that's killed lefties this year.
Credit for the Sox 2 runs here to Mike Kashersky, who has sent a text from his instant replay perch and asked who threw these guys batting practice, knowing full well that it was him.
Ooh.
Cash. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. 2-2 for Robbie.
Mike's dad was up here the other day. A really nice man. Talking about his love for not only the ballpark but the White Sox, the fact that his son is a part of the organization. It's going to be really durable. If you're going to throw batting practice to guys, you got to go out there every day, and Cash does that.
Have to have durable fingers too and wrists for all the texts glorifying his batting practice. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, Mike Kosierski.
He's absolutely terrific. He didn't. Let's see. Where did he throw batting practice?
2-2, fouled back.
I wonder if he threw it in that Santana game.
Probably not.
No, because it was a tough first 5 innings, just 1 run.
Yeah. He might have had group 3 that day. 2-2 to Garcia. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's where he worked Boyd in the 2nd inning and drew a walk. Saladino will run, 2 down, 3-2. On the ground, hard hit into right field. Saladino's on his way to third. Runners at the corners. Avi Garcia continues to torment lefties.
This entire at bat was spent away, and Hicks wanted the ball inside to Avi. He doesn't get it there. He gets it up and away, and Avi takes it through the vacated right side. Because as Tyler was going, Kinsler was breaking toward the bag, and ground ball to straightaway second base goes through. So runners at the corners and a chance for Matt Davidson.
I don't know that you want to pitch Avi fastball away. He's had a good season on fastballs outside.
Well, Hicks didn't want it. In fact, a couple of different at bats, he's wanted Boyd to come inside with the fastball. He just couldn't get it there. He set up inside, called it there, and Boyd missed with it and cost him a base hit and cost him the inning to roll right along. He's at the 50 pitch mark, and we're not through the 3rd.
Saw the bullpen getting open for business in right field.
Just in case.
Boyd to Davidson. It's a foul ball. Cabrera wasn't interested. Kinsler was. And strike 1. Matt Boyd last year in August was outstanding. Felt the momentum building toward this season. And this year in August, it's been a much different story. Sox have 2 on him this inning on 4 hits. Six pitches so far today to Davidson. All have been strikes. There's ball 1. .54 pitches for Boyd after a 1-2-3 first inning and a walk in the 2nd, then 3 straight retired. He's faced 7 now here in the 3rd. Two and 2. It's inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Kevin Smith waiting for his at bat, depending on the resolution of the Davidson at bat.
Still pending. Nice return yesterday for Matt, 2 for 4, coming back from that wrist injury, which kept him out more than 3 weeks. Three balls, 2 strikes. Davidson hits it well, right center field. Jones is back at the wall. He leaps, it's gone. Matt Davidson blows it open, 5-0.
23 and 54 on the power numbers, an opposite field home run, and Boyd having all kinds of problems throwing the ball on the inside part of the plate. He stayed away and it cost him. And welcome back, Matt Davidson.
23rd home run comes along with 54 driven in. That's his second extra base hit against Boyd in his career, a triple and a homer. And with that home run, another generous donation from the Alex Nellius family in loving memory of Ursula. Sox have leaned into the Tigers here today with a 5-run third inning.
We'll take another look. This ball has a good piece of the plate. And Matt, who's very strong, hits it to Curtis Granderson.
The opposite field power is not in question for Matt Davidson.
No, and the one thing for Boyd that's not in question is he is very much arm side strong. He's got all kinds of problems getting it inside to right-handers.
What can you do to change that?
Just a question of continuing to work on it, and because he does have a slider, he might want to come up with a cutter because that's easier to control.
On the ground past the mound, Kinsler at second, just got the out on Smith. But Matt Davidson, who had waited some weeks for a home run, gets back in the homer column. 5-0 Sox over the Tigers after 3.
We will send you whatever it is we want to send you.
Yeah,
Simple
you get to pick what prize you want. We get to choose what to send you off the prize shelf. That's how the rules work.
And there is the prize shelf. Lots of good things today, as well as 24 days since the ball has come into the booth.
Here's the problem with the very large unicorn and the scoreboard as it stands right now.
Yeah, like there's no place to put it after the on-camera, things along those lines.
Well, we're going to have to keep the unicorn. the Sox continue to put up large offensive outpourings when the Unicorn's in the booth. You may have seen the Rally Unicorn a couple of nights ago. We've got an APB out for Rally Unicorn.
Cannot find the Rally Unicorn anywhere,
so we've
high
got our
or
own.
low.
Upton is swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike on Justin Upton, who struck out back in the first.
Have we also searched hither and yon?
Oh, we did, but he hit a grand slam in Cleveland just a couple of innings ago. So we don't know whether or not he has the Unicorn.
Oh, that was a Gomes reference.
Thank you for the explanation. You're like a user's manual for bad jokes. Five-run inning for the Sox. Matt Davidson, a 3-run homer. If you just tuned in, you missed it by like 3 minutes. Get here earlier next time.
And he attempted a very nice play. Apparently did not exactly work out.
Somebody cheering behind home plate in an old school Reggie Miller Pacers jersey. Close pitch, didn't get it. Giolito moves the count to 3-2.
That was a very good pitch, and many times he's going to get the advantage of that, but not this time.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Got him on a curveball last time, and he gets him again on a curveball. So thinking he had it on the 2-2 pitch, Lucas goes right back to it, and that was a dandy. Perfect spot. And Upton, for the second time, a strikeout victim swinging.
We've seen a couple variations on that curveball theme. He's got the big 12-6 curveball. That one didn't have as much movement vertically, but still had enough bite.
It was quicker. He threw it a little bit harder. And that's the great thing if you can throw it 2 or 3 different speeds, because you can have guys guessing curveball. They just can't guess the velocity.
No balls and a strike on Cabrera. And now 0-2. We showed you the graphic from the first start for Giolito of the 14 breaking balls, of which 10 were balls. And a couple of them came up as sliders, according to StatCast and Brooks Baseball. But Giolito talks about his breaking stuff as a curveball, as Sanchez is there for out number 2.
We're going to take a look at strike 2 to Cabrera, and I want you to take a look at his front foot. See, Kevin wants it inside. Look at the front foot by Cabrera, and look where he steps. He's guessing inside. He opened up early because the Sox have been working him inside this entire series. Now, it didn't work very well in last night's game, worked very well the night before, but he has been a guess hitter throughout his career, and that time he just got outguessed.
Castellanos, second guess there, strike 1. Nothing in 1 from Giolito to Castellanos. And he's frustrated with himself there on a fly ball into center field. Adam Engel for out number 3. Lucas Giolito with a dandy so far through 4. Bankrolled to a 5-0 lead. First correct answer wins a prize. Number of games on the next road trip, plus the number of letters in the capital city in Lucas Giolito's home state. You know your capitals? You know your Sox home states? We haven't mentioned it so far today, I don't believe. Although typically we both forget what we said about 10 seconds later. That's how you do this job.
Do you want to know where he's from? I can tell you. I got the book here.
Thank you for asking. It's a cue shot from Garcia. Hicks from behind the plate. A low throw, but caught by Cabrera.
I think Miggy might have been as surprised as anybody as Hicks comes out, fires the ball. He's probably, when he fired it, he was probably 40 feet away from Miggy. Maybe 50.
The only thing he didn't do was take the pin out of it with his mouth.
Yeah, he had a whole lot on that throw.
One down for Yolmer, who looks at strike one. Sanchez had the first hit of the 5 in the 3rd. Single to left field, followed quickly 2 batters later by Tim Anderson's double. And a borderline pitch goes Boyd's way.
So you wanted to know Lucas' home state?
I've got it. Thank you.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
Yeah. Floated into right field. Yolmer on 2 strikes yet again. Now he's on his way to second base. Yolmer is there. Yolmer on the gas pedal. It's a 1-out double.
They probably want to take another look at second base as Yolmer goes down, takes this one right off the top of the dirt, and then runs it into a 2-base hit. He figures that Matuk can't slow himself down to make a throw. He actually makes a very good one. But the foot is in ahead of the tag. The only question is, did the foot come off the bag? It did, but it looked like the back foot hooked it almost immediately, and the back foot did not come off the bag. Good play, good hustle by Yolmer, who's had a wonderful homestand.
Two-strike game winner the other night, and now Hicks comes out to the mound. Yolmer Sanchez, since the start of last year, coming into play today, has put about 3/4 of his swings in play on breaking balls down and away.
Well, we've seen it more than a couple times in this homestand. He'll go down and get a ball that's going to bounce if he doesn't hit it. Not only does he hit it, and not only does he put it in play, but it falls safely quite a bit.
He's on his way to third. Iglesias cuts him down. We've seen it multiple times this homestand. Sox lose a runner at third base.
We talked about it a number of times. If the ball is hit in front of you or to your right, you don't go. And the ball was hit right in front of Yolmer, who was gunned down rather easily at third. So you take a runner out of scoring position. Just not a really good play.
And a throw to first on Engel with 2 out. Well, the sun will come out even after a rough play like that.
Are you betting your bottom dollar? And Tim Anderson liked those colors so much that he's wearing them again here today.
How about that? '24-year-old Tim Anderson. It's funny to look at Little League pictures and think, you know what? It's pretty much a decade ago. There's still a lot of time to grow. In 10 years, we're going to see a picture of Tim Anderson and say, remember what he looked like when he was 24 and just starting out with the Sox?
Call me and tell me about it.
You're not going to be here?
In 10?
Yeah.
I'd like to think I would be, but then again, I'd like to think I'd be in the NBA next year.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Adam Silver, get this guy drafted. It's his one wish. And here's his skipper on his first start.
I still personally believe he had a pretty good outing his last outing. I thought a couple of the pitches that he hit just ended up coming back out over the plate. Other than that, I thought he executed well to both sides of the plate. I thought he worked well inside to lefties and to righties. I thought he was very effective in that department.
Giolito's 6 innings in that first start. He gave up 4 earned runs on a career high 3 homers, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks.
You just see a drastic difference on a day when he's getting both the curveball and the changeup over the plate. Guys just can't sit back and wait for anything because you never know, not only the pitch, you just don't know the velocity it's coming.
One of 2 hits for the Tigers is that Mikey Mott took triple with 2 out in the second. Left field, Garcia was playing deep, and so it'll be Anderson to make the catch for out number 1. Here's your Sox Math winner. It is Mike Ganello with the victory today. 3 games on the next road trip, 10 letters in Sacramento, the capital of California. Lucas Giolito out of Harvard Westlake High School, the very famous school which has provided some very famous alumni to the arts and to American society at large. Want to know on Hicks, catcher out of UVA. Nice bat for John Hicks. A little red, white, and blue. Looks like a bomb pop.
If I knew what one of those looked like, I would agree with you.
Those popsicle rocket ship sort of looking thing with the red, white, and blue. Blue raspberry and cherry and lemon.
Ooh.
You never had one?
No.
What a sad existence.
It's an underprivileged youth.
I just thought they hadn't invented popsicles yet when you were an Ohioan youth.
That's very easy for you to say.
Terribly easy. 2-2. He laid off. 3 balls, 2 strikes. You just eat rocks for dessert or what?
Well, it depends. You know, it depends on the season.
Seasonal rocks. And that one hits Hicks.
Kevin wants it inside, and Lucas gets it inside, just way too far inside.
John Hicks was the guy that David Robertson hit during that skirmish the other day, so he's a little bit sick of being plunked, I'm sure.
That was that group you keep telling me that you want to take me to see, random plunkings.
That's right. Little Zydeco feel. It's nice. 1 on 1 out for Jacoby Jones. Was just back from AAA Toledo with Victor Martinez on the disabled list because of an irregular heartbeat. It's a heart condition that's come back on Victor, and we certainly wish him the best.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Jacoby Jones, who was sent down just a couple of days ago, he was on the roster for Friday's game, so that meant he missed out on MASH Appreciation Night in Toledo with the AAA Mud Hens.
Jones came over from Pittsburgh in exchange for Joakim Soria. Last year hit .214. Didn't have much of an opportunity with the Tigers last year. Just 13 games, spanning 28 at bats.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pitch dove low and away. Breaking stuff from Giolito. Strikeout number 4.
Good breaking ball. And nowhere near on the swing. All 4 of the strikeouts have been swinging, which is a testament to the deception on that breaking ball.
Last start, 2 swinging, 2 looking for Giolito, which speaks to the fact that he was using mostly the fastball as the wipeout pitch.
He couldn't get the curve over the plate. It's just one of those days. Perhaps being his first major league start of the year, he was too psyched up and just couldn't get the feel for it, but he's got that feel today.
Not only has he gotten the results today, but it's also a good sign that he's able to so quickly correct so dramatically with the curveball.
That's the advantage of all the video they take today. You can go immediately and take a look at why you kept bouncing the breaking ball, because the rotation was good. The location wasn't there.
In the air, first base side, foul territory. Abreu ends the inning, and Giolito cleanly threw 5 this afternoon. Sox have put up a big number for him.
WGNTV.com and click on the Game Zone for the latest stats and information. DET Camera, family owned and serving Chicagoland for over 125 years. DET Camera, where the focus is on you.
Sox lead 5-0 as Tyler Saladino looks at a strike. Sox trying to win the season series against the Tigers. Last 7 seasons, the Tigers have had a winning record against the Sox.
Sox would go 8-7 if this lead holds up. And one more series in Detroit. And it'll be a 4-game series in the middle of September.
Quickly, strike 3 to Saladino, 1 down. Ever dream of being a White Sox player?
Yes.
Attend the 2018 Chicago White Sox Fantasy Camp at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, January 14th through the 20th, and be treated like a pro. To reserve your roster spot, call 623-302-5078 or go to whitesox.com.
That's really a wonderful week. Give you an idea what it's like to come to spring training like the major leaguers. You're certainly going to enjoy it. I would suggest that you get in decent shape, however, so that you can last the entire week without going on the disabled list.
Abreu turns this one around. Fair ball right at the line. Clanging in the corner, allowing Jose to park with double number 35.
This one hugging the line the whole way. Nick Marley on the call, and even though it's hooking, it stayed on the right side of the line. White Sox leaders in most hits at home this year, and Jose with 69 in 63 games. That's Ryan Kelly Home Field Facts. Ryan Kelly brought to you by Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com.
So Jose at second, 1 down, and Avi Garcia takes a breaking ball strike.
It's hard to believe when we take a look at the amount of hits that Jose has at home this year, which is not surprising. What was surprising is how long it took him to hit his first home run at home this year. I think it was 13 straight road home runs, which is an all-time Sox record.
Ball and a strike, and let's take a look on that double by Abreu into the corner. Fan reaches initially for the ball. Young fan with a glove goes to reach and then says, you know what, I'm going to pull back. The instinct was good. He pulled back a little bit late, but that's what we'd like to see more of from fans.
Especially when you consider that if you do catch it or grab it, it's going to be 2 bases. If you don't, it's got a chance to be 3 bases.
Mikey Matuk drifting to make the catch for round number 2. A little willpower out there. I know the souvenir is worth having.
It's enticing, but if you do catch a ball in play, you might not be able to see the rest of the game from your vantage point.
Which would be where?
Locked up in some dungeon somewhere. I don't think they still do that, do they?
Certain stadiums do have cool-off rooms. Here's Matt Davidson. Abreu at second, 2 out. And a breaking ball strike.
And here it is, our 4th drive of the game. Opposite field, 3-run homer. Put this one a little further away. Visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com.
Off speed, 0-2. So Matt Davidson back in the lineup yesterday after the wrist injury 2 hits yesterday, a 3-run homer today. And good to have that power back in the middle for the Sox.
Tiger pen up and going. Drew Verhagen.
Tall, intriguing right-hander.
Tigers have also had to rework their bullpen, just as the Sox have.
We're down to 1 Wilson, with Justin being traded to the north side. The big haul in that deal was Jeimer Candelario, the third baseman.
Yeah, I believe that Candelario has a pretty good shot at it. I think the Cubs believe the same thing, but they could certainly have used a quality left-hander in that pen. Although it hasn't worked out all that well for Wilson since going to the north side.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Davidson. Abreu at second, 2 out. Swing and a miss. Davidson peels away. Hicks recovers and throws him out to retire the side. Abreu marooned at second. Sox still have a big lead in this series finale for Lucas Giolito.
Chicago fans.
5 innings deep, Lucas Giolito is pitching a shutout for the Sox in his second White Sox start. Giolito, whose Players Weekend nickname came in too late. His arrival was too late to have it on his jersey, so he goes with his last name of Giolito for today.
It's a good nickname. By the way, Giancarlo Stanton has hit his 50th home run today. Only 6 players have ever hit 50 home runs before the end of August. Sosa, McGuire, Bonds, Gonzalez, Maris, and now Stanton.
He had some interesting thoughts about asterisks and home run records a couple of weeks ago.
He did.
See where he ends up on the leaderboard and whether or not he feels like he is the #1 home run man by the end of this season.
Well, the interesting thing was he changed his stance, and experimenting with a closed stance, he started to hit the ball out of the ballpark with regularity.
2-1. That ball stayed high. Kinsler rips it to left, but Garcia's there. And one away. The White Sox September ballpark pass is available now, and for just $60, you can attend all 17 games in September with tickets delivered digitally to your smartphone. Visit whitesox.com/pass for more information. One down for Romine, who's popped out to second and grounded to Tim Anderson at shortstop. Giolito gets strike one.
He's just now delivering his 80th pitch. So he's kept the pitches to a minimum.
On the ground to first, Abreu smothers it for out number 2.
Well, Lucas is able to throw that fastball exactly where he wants it. He's gotten everything over the plate. It's been a really strong performance. And all the things he couldn't do the first time out, he's doing here this afternoon. Dan Dickerson, who, along with Jim Price, is the radio crew of the Tigers, came over before the game. He asked me about Giolito's stuff, and I talked to him about the curveball. He said, but is it a good curveball? I said, if he gets it over the plate, it's really a great curveball. And he couldn't get it over last time, but if he gets it over, you'll be very impressed this afternoon, and he's done just that.
This one hit well left center field, but Adam Engel's on the case to make the grab for out number 3, and a rapid fire 6th inning for Lucas Giolito, a 5-0 lead for his team.
Checking an official White Sox debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
Matt Boyd, 26-year-old, being outdueled by Lucas Giolito. Sox lead 5-0 thanks to that 5-run third. First pitch hunting to second base. Kinsler off the bat of Kevin Smith for out number 1 as we quiz Steve on his own career. Sticks and stone, who was the last batter you faced in your career and what was the result?
Last batter I faced in my career, huh? Well, it'd have to be in '81. Because I never got off the DL in '82. And the result? The result was he was the last batter I faced. I was so depressed that I hung him up. I'll say, for lack of anything better, Alan Trammell.
You pitchers are so weird. You remember these vivid things, and then your last batter ever, you're searching your mind for. Like these very small things. Like throwing at Amos Otis in spring training.
Well, he tried to steal home in a meaningless game. Figured if he wanted to steal home that badly, I would make it a painful experience.
Well, I'm just very excited to tell you who the last batter you faced was.
Was it Amos Otis?
It was not. It wasn't letter D. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Ball in the dirt. Hicks cleans it up and throws on to Cabrera. 2 down. And here is your answer to who you faced last in your career. Alan Trammell. He got a single off of you.
That's why I left. I was so depressed with that base hit. I said, no mas. Or something like that.
So you didn't know when you left the mound that day that was going to be it?
No.
No inkling?
No, not at all.
How many more years do you think you had?
15, 20. You talking about in life or?
Ask a stupid question.
Yeah, I didn't think that that would be it, but my arm did not want to cooperate that next season. So it was time to go elsewhere.
0-1 pop-up, foul territory. Hicks discards the mask and makes the grab for out number 3. So Boyd and Giolito very quickly through the 6th. Lucas has the better of the Tigers, 5-0. Lucas Giolito going for his career long in a start. With an out, he'd be there, and Tim Anderson is on target enough. Abreu snares it for out number 1. So the longest start in Giolito's brief major league career, now at 6 1/3.
Tim Anderson in the hole, and then realizing that Cabrera had some very bad legs and not busting it down the line, and he gets a nice pick by Jose on the other side of that.
82 pitches for Giolito, whose max this year with AAA Charlotte was 106. So still some time left for Lucas today.
And apparently he feels really good because nobody has gotten up in the pen. There's nobody up now, so he's given up just 2 hits. The triple by Matuk in the 2nd, base hit by Jones. He was erased trying to steal.
1-1 to Castellanos, who has been transitioning some to left field. He's been working with Dave Clark before games. The Tigers trying to turn him into a possible outfielder with Jeimer Candelario, who we talked about coming over from the Cubs, slated for third. Angle in right center field has out number 2 here in the 7th. It's 4 pitches to 2 outs. First 25,000 fans at each game get a Merck's Cheese Spread game card, good for savings on delicious Merck's cheese in the deli or dairy case at your local grocer. Watching the White Sox and saving on Merck's cheese. Some fans have all the luck. Buy your tickets today, whitesox.com, or call 866-SOX-GAME.
Those are some wonderfully impressive numbers in this, his second start as a member of the White Sox. You could tell early that he had command of every one of his pitches today.
One walk, 1 hit batter. Could have been a strike. It's 2-0 instead to Matuk. There's a strike from Giolito. 2 balls, 1 strike. So 88 pitches. If he got a quick out here in the 7th, you might see him in the 8th.
It'll be interesting to see if, when Don Cooper talks to him and Rick Renteria finds out how he's feeling, if he would run him out there for yet another. I guess it depends on how quickly, if at all, he can dispatch Matuk.
3 balls and a strike on Mikey Matuk. That's high, ball 4, so that may start the bullpen.
Stanley, the official tools of the Chicago White Sox. Stanley, performance in action.
And that's exactly what's going on in the bullpen, is inaction right now.
Still throwing it pretty well. He did hang a couple of breaking balls last inning. But with only 2 walks, 1 hit batsman, and only 2 hits, Lucas is sailing right along.
Hicks to right field. That's a base hit. Matuk stops at second. 2 on, 2 out.
And Don Cooper will make a call to the pen. Received by Kurt Hassler. And we'll see who they want as the first man out of the chute. There's Kurt.
Now Jones. 2 on, 2 out. And he takes ball 1.
Last inning, I felt a couple of breaking balls might have started to tip that he was getting fatigued. Now he's missed a couple of times, so Kevin out there is Jake Petrichka, coming off just a terrific outing last night of an inning and 2/3 with a couple of strikeouts, and that's it. He's starting to loosen up again.
One and 0 on Jones. Now 2 balls, no strikes from Giolito. Off speed for a strike, 2-1.
Good straight change. He had Jones well out in front.
Missed twice with the fastball, then went to the changeup. Two one. It's in the dirt now. 3 balls and a strike with Iglesias looming. Mott took it second, Hicks at first. 3-1. Grounded foul, now 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, and the bat boy made a terrific catch. One hop with one hand. Nice play.
Sure he caught it and he's not just doing the hidden ball trick.
Could very well be. No, he caught it. Nicely done.
3-2. Runners will go. That's ball 4. Bases loaded.
I would think that would be it, but we'll have to see. It's a 5-run lead. Don Cooper wants to know if Petrichka is ready to go. I assume that the answer is in the affirmative. And because it is, here comes Rick Renteria.
Really nice start for Lucas Giolito. 6 2/3, just the 3 hits. 2 of the 3 walks here in the 7th, 4 strikeouts. Is it over or not?
Nope.
It's not.
Normally when Rick goes out there and he starts talking with the pitcher, and in this case he never gave a sign to the pen. When he starts talking to the pitcher, he wants to ask him a couple questions, look in their face and see if they believe they can get out of it. Obviously with Lucas, he felt that he could, and now we'll see after a couple of walks and a base hit sandwiched in between.
3rd time Iglesias gets to look at Giolito. 97 pitches deep for Lucas. There's a drive deep to left field. Toward the pole it goes, and this ball is gone.
Matt Davidson thought the ball was foul. It's going to be real interesting. Nick Marley was the man that pointed in fair territory. The ball went, it appeared, just about the top of the pole, and the fans believe it's foul. So we'll take another look. Keep your eye on the ball if you can. It looked like it went to the left of the pole. Watch it again. That ball's a foul ball.
Everyone back to your bases. 5-0. Sorry about it, Tigers. Giolito gets a chance to reset. He's a strike ahead of Iglesias. Chopped foul, 0-2. Lucas Giolito's from a Hollywood family. Let's see if the sequel's better than the original. Against Iglesias. 0-2.
Right at the century mark. Fans trying to encourage Lucas to get out of this inning.
0-2. Fouled away again, spoiled by Iglesias.
Iglesias, who normally doesn't strike out very much, has fanned 3 times in this series, which for him is a lot.
Just 52 all year. 2 strikes from Giolito. Breaking ball fouled off his body.
Tried to attack a high curveball once again.
Where do you go now?
Another curve, and Iglesias stays alive.
Pitch count mounting for Giolito. Oh, 0-2. On the ground, up the middle, Anderson with the throw, and got him! Giolito will keep take 2 against Iglesias, and he'll leave with a shutout, 5-0, as we stay here to celebrate our country with God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Major League ballparks across America each Sunday, the singing of God Bless America is performed in support of our country and our men and women stationed overseas. Please welcome Miles Hayes for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Lucas Giolito out of a bases loaded jam. Iglesias hustling. Anderson comes across. Nice scoop by Jose, and it's out of the inning with the shutout intact. When you think of garages, think Danley's. 773 Garages. Time now for a Dodge upcoming schedule. So with tomorrow off, it's on to Minneapolis to take on the Twins for 3 before coming back to face the Rays and the Indians and the Giants on a very long homestand. See your authorized Dodge dealer to experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Go to Dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup as you look at a young man who's absolutely ecstatic with that performance. 3 hits through 7 innings, got a 5-0 lead. Undoubtedly, that will be it for him today.
And the Tigers go to the bullpen. 6 innings for Matt Boyd, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. All 5 of those runs came in inning number 3. Drew Verhagen replaces Boyd.
Verhagen at 0-2 this year. His ERA up over 7. He's on for the 8th time. He's had a couple of starts. Things have not worked out particularly well for him.
26 hits in 18 1/3 for Verhagen so far this year. Goes with a fastball high to strikeout angle, 1 down.
Well, we told you about the numbers, and that's what they look like. Opponent's hitting a robust .338.
His first start came in 2014 with the Tigers. It was 1 start, then 39 games the last 2 years out of the bullpen. Up and back from AAA to the majors.
Tigers have some talented pitchers, but a lot of them are very young. They're not all that close to the major leagues yet, but gives them some hope down the road.
It's a good breaking ball, 1-1. Saw Joe Jimenez a couple of nights ago, and he was the one that gave up the game winner. But a skilled arm that needs some refining for the Tigers, certainly.
Matt Manning, one of the guys that they view as a future member of their starting rotation. He was their top draft pick last year.
2-1 popped up. Hicks for round number 2. Head to the park for $1 hot dogs every Wednesday home game through the rest of this season. Take advantage of this unbeatable deal. September 6th, Sox and Indians, 7:10 p.m. Buy your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. Sometimes those little packets of condiments are tough to open, though, for $1 hot dog night.
Yes, but they're easier to open when the hot dog is actually $1.
Is that true?
Wednesdays. Oh, much easier, yes.
Huh. You do some strange studies in your lab.
Well, certainly it's to your advantage to come on Wednesday.
Couple $1 hot dog days remaining.
Yep.
Sox will be in Minnesota this Wednesday.
Not bringing $1 hot dog day with them, I don't think.
That was the world's longest selfie, by the way. Almost looked like she was FaceTiming or something with somebody, but a lengthy affair. One and 2 on Saladino. Now she's getting bunny ears from somebody. That's nice. The world's longest selfie continues. Tipped and dropped by Hicks, so still 2 and 2. Vergy. Fergie Jenkins.
I thought it was a singer in a rock band.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Players Weekend coming to a close. Final couple innings of pick your own name on your jersey.
And unusual uniforms.
Sox in their traditional reds. I think Adam Engel maybe felt most at home in the jersey color with his ties to Louisville. It's fairly close to the Louisville red. 3-2. And another foul ball brushed by Saladino. 9th pitch coming up. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Hagen, a 1-2-3 7th. And the Sox bullpen will take over in the 8th with a 5-0 lead.
State Farm here to help life go right. For Lucas Giolito, it went right today. His fastball was pinpoint most of the time. The curveball was just outstanding, and he wended his way through 7 innings. And here's the ground ball that got him out of the bases loaded jam. No runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Just a great day for Giolito. And with a 5-run lead, Jake Petrichka will come into the ball game on for the 23rd time. And last night, an inning and 2/3 of brilliant baseball.
And a first pitch strike for Ian Kinsler here in the 8th. Lucas Giolito, I mean, that one extra pitch, which is his best pitch, the curveball, showing its face today and showing what made him one of the top prospects in the game. To left field, Garcia is back, and this ball is out.
'14th home run, 39th driven in for Ian Kinsler. Line drive. And it left the ballpark. That one stayed waist high, middle of the plate. And Kinsler takes it out.
Now Romine, who bats left-handed and grounds this ball to shortstop. Tim Anderson low for round number 1. Romine 0 for 4. Bootsy, the nickname Ron Washington gave Kinsler 10 years ago in Texas, on the back of that Players Weekend jersey, and Sox trying to send him out of here with a series loss. Indians, by the way, ended up beating the Royals 12-0, so they called off the Hounds after the 9-run second inning.
Carrasco ran his record to 13-6.
Cleveland now 9 up on Kansas City, and likely 6.5 on Minnesota. Twins are up 5 in the 9th inning against Toronto. There's Fark.
Kenny Farquhar loosening in the pen.
Big Roman Maroney fan. Two strikes on Upton. Was that a pretty quiet series? 1 for 12, only hit the home run. Commemorate this inaugural Players Weekend at MLBshop.com with limited edition White Sox jerseys and tees featuring player pick nicknames. Wear the gear the players are wearing on field this weekend. Available while supplies last at MLBshop.com. There's a rocket foul left side. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third punch out for Upton in the game, 7th in the series.
Gets him on a good slider in a perfect spot. So Upton now is fanned 142 times with a good shot at 200.
Ball number 1 to Miguel Cabrera, who had all 3 of his hits in this series yesterday. Sox are off tomorrow, then off to Minnesota. Take on the Twins. 7:10 first pitch Tuesday. Games on CSN, then Wednesday back here on WGN, and Thursday CSN again. Davidson at third. And that does it. Tigers get a run. Sox still lead by 4. Bottom 8 next.
One game. It's been all Sox today. It's been an errorless game. Lucas Giolito was brilliant through 7, just 3 hits. Matt Davidson with a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer. Zach Reiniger comes in the ball game on for the 10th time. He's 1-0. His ERA at 1.59, so he's had a nice run out of the pen, but those are numbers in AAA. Major League debut this afternoon.
So Reiniger's first batter he gets to face is Jose Abreu. Reiniger, who spent most of his time with the AA Erie Seawolves, gets a check swing and a strike, 1-1. We'd like to say hello to 13-year-old Justin Frank, who is a huge Sox fan. He's scheduled to have surgery on Tuesday. He's in the hospital right now at Park Ridge, and Justin is scheduled to have surgery on Tuesday. It's a tough time for the family, but hello to Justin and the entire family of big Sox fans, and we hope everything goes well for you.
There, another multi-hit game for Jose.
That first pitch after ball 1, the swinging strike for Abreu, was his first swinging strike against a relief pitcher this week.
That's pretty impressive. And he made up for it by taking one through the left side on what appeared to be a pretty decent breaking ball.
Reiniger to Garcia, and Avi takes ball number 1. On the ground and through. Base hit for Avi. His second hit today. Sox have 2 on, nobody out in this 8th. Hey, Sox fans, win with Papa John's Pizza all season long. The day after the Sox win, get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu price items only at papajohns.com when you use promo code SOXWIN. Valid at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
We talk a lot about exit velocity as it pertains to how far a home run is going to go. But Avi hits the ball so hard, he's one of the few guys could have taken it by Iglesias at shortstop, because exit velocity helps you on base hits also, and we saw it there.
Avi had a hard hit ground ball for his first hit in the 3rd to the right side. In the air, right field, long run for Matuk. He's still coming, and that ball bounces foul.
Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by AWS, and it's a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. 104.5 exit velocity, launch angle 31.9, and projected distance at 403. Very happy feet, because that one essentially put it away.
Talking about exit velocities, Avi's hit just there on the ground came off the bat at 105 miles an hour.
I mean, that's the biggest difference, because if a normal guy hit that ball, looked like it's going to be 2, but with the exit velocity that Avi gets routinely, finds its way through the infield.
Well hit right field on a line. Matuk over the other shoulder to make the catch. Abreu on his way to 3rd, and he's there without a throw. 1 down, runners at the corners.
Well, Matt hit that ball awfully hard, but not quite high enough. Danny Farquhar again with Gregory Infante.
It's up to Kevin Smith to face Reininger, who started the season at High A with Lakeland in the Florida State League.
Safe to call it a meteoric rise through the system.
Very similar to the season Aaron Bummer has had, season and a half with the Sox. Two strikes on Smith. You can tell Reininger came up recently because he's got his last name on the Players Weekend jersey. It's a dead giveaway. Oh, 0-2.
That will fall into the too close to take category as he went upstairs to spoil one and keep the at bat alive.
Two strikes on Smith, and so Reininger, who also, like Lucas Giolito, has had Tommy John surgery. Reininger credits former Tiger closer Mike Henneman for helping him get his confidence back with his fastball after Tommy John surgery.
Nothing wrong with the fastball. It's 97, 98 here this afternoon.
Into the afternoon sky, center field, Jacoby Jones. Abreu tags from third. The throw is late, and a sac fly for Kevin Smith. Garcia to second. Sox are on the board again.
They want to appeal to third to see if he left too quickly. And Nick Marley says no, he didn't.
So the Sox get a little padding for that lead. And Garcia to bat with some bad weather in the dugout.
I still think they might want to take another look at it.
And they're going to.
Yeah. It was close. Pretty close.
Wonder if they have double box capability in the New York Command Center to show both at once, the catch and the departure.
I'm sure they have all of those things at their disposal. They got triple and quadruple boxes if they need them.
Quad box?
Yeah.
Oh boy. When we're in New York next year, I'm going to get a tour of the Command Center. That's on my bucket list.
Go in a day or two early.
There will be a game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Command Center.
So it's worth it for me to miss a game to go get a replay tour?
I was thinking maybe two.
Oh, 2 games. What are you going to do, the game with a unicorn?
Depends on how lucky the boy gets the rest of the way. He's doing very well today.
That is a big stuffed animal, and it's done its job today.
It has, no doubt.
So as the umpires look at it, let's take a look. This is simultaneous.
If that was exactly simultaneous, then he was safe. And it was, and he is.
I think I might have a new hardest call to overturn other than the hit by pitch. The appeal on a tag play. It's pretty close. And Abreu celebrates his massive victory. It's the biggest party I've ever seen after a replay review.
Well, Kevin Smith very happy because he's a quarter of the way to 100. His RBI number 25.
Avi at second, Leury at the plate. 1-1. Our microphone on that screen behind home is just getting worn out today.
There seemingly has been an inordinate amount of balls fouled back into the screen. Lucas thrown some high fastballs. That'll get you foul balls back to the screen.
That bounces away. Avi takes off for third. He is in there.
Will probably be a wild pitch, you would expect. And it is a wild pitch. Hicks does a nice job of getting it and getting it to third base, just not in time.
Up and out, 3-1 to Garcia. Tigers in the 9th. We'll have Castellanos, Matuk, and Hicks coming up. Three and one. Sox trying to go up in the season series on the Tigers, 8 games to 7. Three balls, 2 strikes. Left field side, Upton long run, and it's a foul ball. Pitch number 7 to Garcia. Outside, ball 4. Nice take. Yolmer gets one more shot at it. Boy, a 3-hit day would go a long way in picks to click, wouldn't you say?
Well, not when you consider that his hit in the 3rd doesn't count.
I don't know that I feel great about you being
the judge,
ultimate arbiter in picks to click. I don't remember. Did anybody have Davidson today? Anyone take Matt? No.
No, apparently not.
I think I'm a win today.
I don't think so.
3 hits? I mean, if he comes up with a 3rd hit.
Oh, yeah. But other than that, he loses to Avi.
The tremendous second base he's played.
Oh, you get credit for that, certainly.
He's been outstanding.
Wonderful.
Davidson has the big hit, the 3-run homer in the 3rd. Had I been able to, I would have taken Lucas Giolito, but you don't allow starting pitchers. Sanchez, right side, base hit number 3. Garcia to 3rd. Yolmer drives in a run. It's 7-1.
RBI number 43 for Yolmer. He's had quite a day. And for Reiniger, that's going to be the 2nd run he's going to give up in his career. So 2 runs on 3 hits so far, but runners at the corners, and this inning's still alive.
First pitch, strike 1 to Adam Engel. Avi with his 2nd run scored today.
I was just going to mention that they pay off in this game on runs scored, and just from a strictly pragmatic standpoint, There is one guy in this lineup that scored twice.
I don't think you get to use the word pragmatic when you have a giant unicorn sitting right next to you. There's nothing pragmatic about this booth.
No, the unicorn had a whole lot to do with today, but yeah, it's a nice sized guy.
That's strike 3. The unicorn did its job today, though. 7-1, the Sox with the lead, trying to put the series away.
As Gregory Infante comes in the ball game to try to nail it down. On for the 37th time. He's 1-1, 3.89 ERA. He's done a pretty nice job out of the pen, and he's looking for 3 outs. And the off day tomorrow for the Sox before heading to Minneapolis for 3.
Infante to Castellanos. And a first pitch, ball 1. Fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike on Castellanos, who's 0 for 3, 2 flyouts to center and a ground ball to short. A Mr. Zook on Twitter has tweeted in to suggest something for you for your trip to Minnesota. That because the Sox are leading today and look like they're going to put it away, we'll see, 3 outs to get. Chris Zook feels like you should have the unicorn on the plane with you in the seat next to you. The giant stuffed unicorn.
I'm not sure he can fit on the plane.
The unicorn?
Yeah.
I think you'd be fine. You have the whole row to yourself.
He doesn't travel well.
2-1. And neither does this baseball. Engel coming in for out number 1. Well, look. There's our unicorn hanging out watching the game.
Looks like a very tired unicorn today.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a tilt to it. Hello.
Hello.
You ever want to be a puppeteer? You have a little Jim Henson in you, I feel like. Good seats, though, for the unicorn for the 9th inning. That was the problem yesterday. The unicorn was too small.
That's true.
We have the right size rally unicorn now. and all is well in Mudville.
Tigers have managed just 4 hits, 3 coming against Lucas Giolito in his 7 innings of shutout baseball. Home run given up by Jake Petrichka leading off the 8th, and that's been it for the offense for the Tigers.
Tigers nearly had a 4-run 7th. Jose Iglesias, on the first pitch he saw from Giolito, hit a ball very well down the left field line. Initially called a home run, then waved off after the umpires met and talked about it and called a foul ball, rightfully. We were talking during the break about how different that line for Giolito looks with one swing.
Yeah, even if, let's say, it's a fair ball and he wins the ball game, the huge difference is giving up 4 in 7. He will have had the same stuff, but that 0 in the run column looks awfully big.
1-2. Breaking ball outside. There's a change in confidence too, I would assume.
I think he would have come away with a whole lot of confidence in this ball game one way or the other, because he did get everything over the plate. He threw it really well. I mean, this was a really encouraging outing for Lucas.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Infante gets rid of Montook. 2 down.
Our Mazda replay cam. Yep, it's a strikeout. The Nighthawk is down.
2 out for Hicks, who could be out number 27. Strike 1.
John Hicks was trying to hit that one about 8 miles with no contact.
No balls and a strike. Now 0-2.
And the fans on their feet.
Gregory Infante on 2 strikes to Hicks. Hicks flinched, did not swing.
About time for that good curveball, I believe. That will most likely end it.
Ball and 2 strikes. Fastball fouled away. One ball, 2 strikes. Infante to Hicks. Sox trying to secure the first career White Sox win for Lucas Giolito. Two. Ground ball left side. Davidson charges. Bare hand. Save.
So Hicks with his second hit. Matt Davidson doing everything that he can, but with 2 strikes, you're playing back at third base anyway. He can't get it there in time, and Hicks beats it out. Nice effort by Matt.
So it's Jacoby Jones who takes a strike. Oh, and 2 as the Sox aim for a winning homestand against the AL Central's Twins and Tigers. No balls, 2 strikes. Infante to Jones. Just missed. Infante was getting ready to start his off day.
Yeah, that was not a strike, though. Good call by Lance Barrett. Didn't miss by much, but it did miss.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Infante to Jones. Upstairs. That elusive final strike proving to be rather eel-like in this 9th inning. 2-2. Called strike 3. The Sox win the series against the Tigers. First major league win for Lucas Giolito.
Just a quality ball game all the way around. This turns into a very good homestand as the Sox win the series from the Twins and finish it up with a series win against the Tigers. Good curveball for strike 3. And congratulations to Lucas Giolito on this, his first White Sox win. Avi with a big day and 7-1 overall, so stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.